Good morning. And before we get to it, like and subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe and you think this video is worthy, then at least click the like so that the algorithms will pick up and it'll be privy to more people. Now let's get straight to it. I want to talk about Travis King, the young black man who defected to North Korea. The first thing I want to say is that let's face the reality of the situation. When a black man enlists into the military, he has two enemies. And I can't say which. Now I don't even know how to put them in order. But I'll say this. His first enemy is going to be white supremacists in the United States of America that are in the military. His second enemy will be the enemy of the United States. The enemy that he has to worry about the most is the white supremacists in the United States, because he's in closer proximity to this person. We also must understand the history of racism in the United States. Look them up. Look them up. Now, when I heard what happened, it immediately jumped in my mind that this was a young black man, and he went into North Korea for protection. And there's only one group of people in the military that he could have possibly needed protection from, and that would be the white supremacists. The United States government, on all judicial governments on all levels, federal, state, and local, have a history of fabricating lies on black people. It's historical. They will also say that the incidents weren't racist. They will also say that the incidents weren't racist. But then 20, 30 years later, the black people get exonerated. The truth comes out, but their lives are ruined and they're dead. In some situations, they've been executed. So what do we know about the Travis King situation? Where we are told that he's some kind of a barroom brawler. He's an alcoholic and a barroom brawler. But my question is, if he committed all these acts that they're saying he committed, why wasn't he locked up? These are felonies. Why wasn't he in prison? Well, let's look at the Rasheem Carter, the young man who worked construction. He went to the police and he told them exactly who was out to kill him and that he needed a ride to the hotel. The police refused to give him a ride or to offer him any kind of help. They just put him out. Now, my question is, with Travis King, why wasn't he locked up? If he did this, see, if you kick him out of the police station, then he is at the mercy of whoever or whatever white supremacist wants to do him harm. If the police does not arrest him, does not offer him asylum, he is at the mercy of whoever wants to kill him. And let's not pretend that police officers are not white supremacists. Let's not pretend that white supremacists aren't in the military. Would the United States military falsify information on Travis King? Well, they've done it before. They've done it before. Is this country, is the military so holy, so moral, that they would not do this? The answer is no. The atrocities committed against civilians in Vietnam proves it. And we don't even know about all the atrocities. And a lot of people have gotten away with it. Look at what happened in Iraq. The sadistic things they did to Iraqis. And that war was illegal. There is a war against black people in America. And we can state, and the United States government is implicit, is a part of it. Because those cities and towns in the 1920s, they were bombed. They were bombed by the government. And then engineers put those cities underneath lakes. And I'm bringing this up to draw a correct narrative that will support my suspicion that Travis King was being set up. He may not have made it back to the United States of America alive. He may not have made it back to the United States of America alive unless he would have been in the stockades. Then you have responsibility for where he's at. They could have followed him to the border. He could have been followed to the border. We don't know. But I will tell you this, if we look back at history, it's more likely that this is what happened. They could have been right behind him, and they filmed it and everything. They could have been right behind him. And he may not have any choice to go across that border. His case is no different than what happened to Rasheem Carter, who was murdered. There were pictures of him going through the woods with no shirt on, with a stick to protect himself. No pictures. No pictures of him. And he told them who was trying to kill him. And who would know better who is trying to kill them than the person who is about to be murdered? That's only common sense that he would know. But when we look at the Rasheem Carter, we see that the police were an accomplice because they didn't protect him at all. And the question is, and we've heard so little about this, how did his car break down? Was his car tampered with? That didn't come up. Was his car tampered with? And why didn't they tell us who the people were that were trying to kill him? And by not making this information known, it makes them an accomplice because they're not investigating anything. They know. They probably took part. They probably took part in it. I mean, it's time to stop playing games. Going back to Travis King, he would not be the first black man falsely convicted of something by the United States military, and he would not be the first black man murdered by the United States military. So let's get this. So let's stop playing games here. We need to come from behind the mirror, and the United States needs to stand in front of the mirror. The crimes committed against black people by the United States of America pale in comparison, do, are worse, are worse than what Kim Jong of North Korea has done to the North Korean people. The crimes against black people in America is worse than what the Nazis did to the Sephardic and Ashkenazi Jews. The crimes against humanity committed by the United States is far worse than the Nazis. It is far worse than what Kim Jong has done in North Korea. No country has committed atrocities worse than the United States. The most they can do is what's equal. And then you could talk about Rome when they talk about putting people in the metal bull and lighting a fire up under it. But then the United States, they lynched people over a fire. And when the person was almost dead, they would lift him up so that he could kind of get himself together again, and then they would lower him back into the flames again. And then there are pictures of this. And then I don't remember the Nazis or Kim Jong selling body parts of people that had been murdered. I don't know of the Nazis making postcards of people dead coming out of the gas chamber. I don't know if Kim Jong has done these things. But we have evidence that the United States is a racist society. The whole concept of reparations, Jim Crow laws, are all admissions of guilt. And there was one thing I didn't know about. I didn't know that that black men were being forced to pay more in child support than their counterparts. So there's just, I mean, the atrocities committed against black people is just totally ridiculous. And so, and the reason why I bring up Nazi Germany and Kim Jong is because this man will probably be, Travis King is safer in North Korea. He went to North Korea to be safe. He did not, and the narrative that the white media is trying to paint is of him being some type of alcoholic and misfit. I will say this, if he did get into an altercation, it was probably with some white supremacists that were in the military with him. And this has happened over and over and over again throughout history, especially if some young South Korean woman took an interest in him. That's all it takes to set them off. And like I said, if he is this vicious drunken animal, why wasn't he in jail? Why was he allowed to be out? I mean, we don't even know the truth. We don't know the truth. We don't know the facts. And if it's up to the United States military, we will probably never know the facts. And if we do, it'll be 20 years from now or 30 years from now that we will get the facts. I mean, that's just the way it is. The narrative they're trying to paint is that he is like he's being held against his will. He went there seeking asylum. That's the only reason why he would go there seeking asylum, is because he needed safety. And he needed safety from the United States military. And that's a fact. That's a fact. It all adds up. This is a racist country, and that's what it is. It's a racist country, and there's no denying that. Of course, the United States want to look like this great democracy, but I will leave a video on the bottom of the description, and you will hear a white person talking about how they have killed leaders, democratically elected leaders, to keep people down. Just another form of colonization. And in the United States, you might as well call black people indentured servants. Indentured servants. Because more black people lost more wealth in 2008 than at any time in the history of this country. Maybe except the 1920s. And Obama was president, and all he did was bailed out the banks. But I mention this to show you the atrocities that have been committed against black citizens of the United States of America. You got Republicans talking about if a state pays reparations, we're going to punish them. Are they saying that? This is about Travis King and it's about Rasheem Carter. Both are black men, and they're both, and the police are accomplices in the Rasheem Carter case, and the military right now seems to be accomplices in the Travis King case, because common sense tells us that man fled for his life. He fled for his life, and if he had committed the atrocities that they said he committed, he would be in jail. But we all know, if the white supremacists want to get their hands on someone, you let them out of jail. You let them out where they can get their hands on them. With that, have a nice day. If you don't want to subscribe, then at least hit the like button. Have a great day. I think that some people don't want to hit the like button because they think they're being watched and they're scared to hit it or something. I don't know what it is, but then that's not true either, because I watch a lot of videos that I believe in, and I don't hit the like button, but I'm going to start hitting the like button, because it's not fair for me to ask you all to hit the like button, and I'm looking at other people's videos that I'm subscribed to. But still, if I'm subscribed to, I still need to hit that like button. God bless us all. Have a nice day. See you the next go round.